Hi everyone, welcome back. Yesterday in the Bible we started reading all about Daniel and that they played a terrible trick, a sneaky trick on Daniel to get him thrown in the lion's den. So let's see what our story is about today. Our story is called In the Lion's Den. That evening the king did not sleep at all. When the sun first came up, he rushed down to the lion's den. "Daniel!" he cried out, more in desperation than hope. "Has your God been able to save you?" How thrilled and amazed he was when he saw Daniel sitting amongst the lions, completely unharmed, because God had sent an angel to close the mouths of the lion. "Your God, Daniel, is truly wonderful," said the king, and he ordered that from then on, everyone in the kingdom should respect and listen to God. As for the wicked men who tricked him, they were thrown into the lion's den. And this time, the lions' mouths weren't closed, and they were very, very hungry. Now today I want to start learning a new prayer that we can do after Bible. So I want you to put your hands together and I'll say it first and then you can copy me. Eyes closed. Dear Jesus, please show me how to spend this day sharing love in every way. Help me to be kind to everyone, to play and laugh, and have some fun. Shining your light and giving your grace, and sharing your joy with a smile on my face. Amen. Well done everyone, we're going to practice that. So it's a new prayer that we have to say in the elephant class. Hoot it, hoot it, hoot it, hoot it, hoot it, swallow, chow, 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 chow. Hoot it, hoot it, hoot it, hoot it, hoot it, swallow, chow, 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 chow. Hoot it, hoot it, hoot it, hoot it, hoot it, swallow, chow, 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 chow. Hoot it, swallow, Jonah. Hoot it, swallow, Jonah. Hoot it, swallow, Jonah down. Weld it, weld it, weld it, weld it, weld it, swallow, chow, 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 chow. Weld it, weld it, weld it, weld it, weld it, swallow, chow, 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 chow. Weld it, weld it, weld it, weld it, weld it, swallow, chow, 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 chow. Weld it, swallow, Jonah. Weld it, swallow, Jonah. Weld it, swallow, Jonah down. Gabriel, 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 blow your drum, 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 drum. Gabriel, 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 blow your drum, 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 drum. Gabriel, 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 blow your drum, 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 drum. Gabriel, blow your trumpet. Gabriel, blow your trumpet. Gabriel, blow your trumpet now. Daniel, 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 in the la 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 la. Daniel, 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 in the la 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 la. Daniel, 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 in the la 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 la. Daniel in the lion, Daniel in the lion, Daniel in the lion's den. Now that our board is all fixed after learning all about the months of the year and the seasons yesterday, let's do our weather chart. Now the weather today is a little bit cloudy. So I really hope the sun's going to come out, but for now it's partly cloudy. I really hope the sun will come out so we can play outside. Yesterday was Monday, so today is Tuesday. Good job. And if yesterday was 18, today is 1 and an 8. So now it's a 1 and a 9. 19th of May. Can we read it together? Let's give it a try. Our weather for today is partly cloudy. Today is Tuesday, the 19th of May. The season is autumn. Good job. And autumn is also what we're going to learn about this week. Isn't that cool? Yeah. Stay. Let's practice singing our days of the week.
Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday and Sunday,
The days of the week.
Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday and Sunday,
The days of the week.
start each day with a smile,
Make each day full of fun.
so let's make each and every day a very, very special one. Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday and Sunday,
The days of the week.
the days of the week, the days of the week.
Our theme this week is autumn. Yesterday, we looked at all the different seasons. We looked at summer, autumn, winter, and spring. Now, from now on, we're going to just talk about autumn. Autumn comes after summer. Remember, summer is hot and the sun is out all day long. But now that we're getting into autumn, it starts getting colder. The sun starts waking up later in the morning and it goes to bed earlier at night so that it can stay away from the cold. In autumn, we also wear different clothes. We start wearing jackets and long sleeves and long pants. But today we're going to look at the autumn tree. Because we all know that in autumn, the leaves change color. Now on this side, I've got a summer tree. It's full of bright green leaves that'll give us shade and protect us from the sun. Then on this side, we've got an autumn tree where its leaves are changing color. But why do leaves change color in autumn? I will tell you why. Now, just like us, trees need food. Trees get their food from water, from the air, and also from the sun. Now, in the green leaves is where the tree's food is made. And that is why the leaves are green, because the leaves are making food for the tree. Can I teach you a really big word? Okay, I think you're ready. When the leaves make food for the tree, it's called photosynthesis. Can you say that? Photosynthesis. Sure. I'll be very impressed if you can remember that word. And that's why they're green, is because they're turning the air and the sunlight and the water into food for the trees. But now in autumn, the sun is coming up later in the morning, so it's sleeping longer, and it's also going to bed earlier at night. So the sun isn't up as much. So now the tree knows it's getting ready for winter. And trees that lose their leaves in winter go to sleep in winter. So they don't need as much food because they're sleeping, they don't need all their food. So now the leaves stop making so much food for the tree because there's not so much sun and the tree is getting ready to sleep for winter. And that's why the leaves change color, because they're not making food for the trees anymore. So they change color because now the tree doesn't need the leaves anymore. So they change color, they go red and yellow and orange and brown, and then they fall to the floor. But don't worry, because when springtime comes, this tree will grow more leaves so that the leaves can make food from the sun and the water and the air around it. But now you're wondering, how does the tree stay alive in winter? Well, under the ground, a tree has roots. And that's how it gets its food in winter, because it doesn't need a lot, only needs a little bit. So the roots drink the water that the tree needs to grow. And because now it doesn't need its leaves anymore, the leaves change color and fall to the ground. So we said that the trees lose their leaves because the tree doesn't need the leaves to make food for it anymore, because it's going to sleep during winter. Now there's a special word, and I said it yesterday. In winter, these trees go dormant. Can you say that? Dormant. That means they're going to sleep through all of winter, and when spring comes, they can grow leaves again. But there are some trees that don't change in winter like this one. Instead, they stay green all year long. So they're green in summer, green in autumn, green in winter, and green in spring. So they don't lose their leaves like the other trees. Now these trees are called evergreen trees. Can you say that? Evergreen trees. And that just means they're going to stay green for the whole year long. But just because they stay green doesn't mean they don't lose any of their leaves, because sometimes the leaves get old and tired and they can't make food for the tree anymore. And then that's when they turn brown and they fall off the tree. Something really important that I want you to remember. When the tree's leaves are green, I want you to remember that the tree is making food for itself. That's why the leaves are green. So if you're going to go and pick all the beautiful green leaves off the tree, then the tree's not going to have so many leaves left, and then it can't make food for itself. And do you like it when your tummy is hungry and there's no food in it? It's not nice to feel hungry. Do you think it's nice for the tree to feel hungry too? No, it's not. Now I wanted to show you quickly the different parts of the tree. Now under the ground, the tree grows roots. And these roots help to keep it stay in the ground so that it doesn't fall over. And it also helps the tree to drink water from the ground. Then coming out of the ground, there's this big thing here, and it's the trunk. This is the tree trunk. Sure. And this is what's going to hold the tree up tall and make sure it doesn't fall over and break. And then all these little
pieces of wood are called the tree's branches. Now, the branches is what the tree grows its leaves on. And that's why we need to look after our trees, so that the trunk can stay big and strong so it doesn't break, and that the branches are strong and healthy and they can grow leaves that will then make food for the trees. So we're going to look after our trees now. I hope so. Wow, trees really are amazing, hey? That they can make their own food from the sun and the water and the air just in their leaves by using photosynthesis. Yo, but that's a big word. I wonder if any of you will remember that word. Sure. Now, I wanted to show you, I went into my garden and I went to an autumn tree and I picked us some leaves to look at. And these leaves are all busy changing color because the tree doesn't need them to make food anymore. So they're starting to change color and will slowly start falling off the tree. Now I've got a big one here that you can see is still green in the middle, but all the ends are starting to change color. And it almost looks like it's turning a reddy brown color. Wow, that's amazing, hey? Then from the same tree, I found a leaf that's gone yellow in the middle and it's going orange and red on the outside. So look at the two next to each other. See how they're changing color as they get older and as the tree gets ready for winter. Now this is also a cool one. It's almost a little bit of green in the middle, but it's almost gone, and the whole leaf is yellow. Wow, that's cool. Then I've got one, it's a little leaf that fell down, and it's almost all red. It's changed color so that it's all red. Now I've got a leaf that is really, really beautiful, and I really hope you guys can see it on the camera. Because this leaf, the whole leaf has turned purple. Ooh, almost looks like brown. Sure. It's so dark it looks like brown. Wow, I think this leaf was almost ready to fall off the tree, hey? My goodness, but look at all these different leaves. You know what's really amazing to me and what makes autumn such an amazing season is that all these different color leaves came off the same tree. That is so cool that God has made a tree that can make so many different colors. It's amazing, hey? Today we're going to read a story from Bramley Hedge. Now we've read about Bramley Hedge before. We read the summer story where Dusty and Poppy got married on a boat and the boat came loose and they drifted down the river. Now our story today is a little bit long, so what I'm going to do is we're going to read some of it today and then tomorrow we'll carry on, okay? Does that sound all right? Okay, let's read our autumn story. Autumn story. It was a fine autumn. The blackberries were ripe, the nuts were ready, and the mice of Bramley Hedge were very, very busy. Every morning they went out into the fields to gather seeds, berries, and roots, which they took back to the store sump and carefully put it away for winter. The store stump was warm inside and smelled delicious of bramble jelly and rising bread, and it was already almost full of food. Lord Woodmouse, who lived in the old oak palace, was out early with his youngest daughter Primrose. "Now keep close to me and don't get lost," he said as they made their way along the blackberry bushes. Primrose picked the berries nearest to the ground, while her dad picked from the upper branches with his walking stick. The basket was nearly full when they were joined by Mrs. Eyebright. "I've been looking for you," she said. "Bad weather is on its way. I can feel it in my bones. You must finish our harvesting before the rain begins." Lord Woodmouse sent Primrose back to the palace, and then went on to the store stump to find Mr. Apple to make arrangements. Soon parties of mice with carts and wheelbarrows were hurrying out to the fields to gather the last of the nuts and the berries. Lord and Lady Woodmouse decided to help pick mushrooms, and they were just setting off when Lady Woodmouse cried out, "Oh, where's Primrose? Oh no, she's gone missing." She was nowhere to be seen. She wasn't hiding in the baskets, or under the leaves, or in the long grass. "Has anyone seen Primrose?" shouted the Lord and Lady Woodmouse. "She hasn't been here," replied the mice gathering berries high in the blackthorn bush. "I haven't seen her," called the mice in the tangly trees. "Wonder where she is." The children thought that she was at her grandmother's house, and a search party was sent along to investigate. Hot and out of breath, they knocked at the door of Crab Apple Cottage. "Have you seen Primrose?" asked Wilfred. "We've lost her." Mrs. Apple shook her head, took off her apron, and joined in the search. Mr. Apple ran over to the gap in the hedge by the store stump. "Primrose, where are you?" he cried. "Primrose, where are you?" echoed the call across the empty cornfield. Lord and Lady Woodmouse went back to the palace. They looked in the cupboards and under the bed. The store stump was searched from top to bottom. "Oh dear," said Lady Daisy. "She's such a little mouse. Where can she be? What will we do?" Meanwhile, Primrose, wandering along the edge of the cornfield, was quite unaware of her parents' worries. She had spent the morning picking wild flowers and gazing up at the blue sky. And after a lunch of blackberries, she fell asleep a little in the sun. She was just going to help a group of mice she had seen gathering seeds when she spotted a little round house high up in the stalks of the corn. "I wonder who lives there," she thought, and decided to climb up and peek through the window. So there you can see the little house built in the corn. As she looked in, she saw 2 pairs of bright little eyes peering back at her. "I do beg your pardon," she stammered, and began to climb down again. "We're just going to have tea," a voice called after her. "Why don't you join us?" Primrose found the tiny front door and went inside. It was very cozy. There was thistle-down carpet on the floor, and the neatly woven grass walls were covered in books and pictures. The 2 elderly, old harvest mice who lived in the house were very happy to have a visitor. They sat Primrose down, gave her a slice of cake, and handed her their album of family pictures to look at. And that's all for today. Tomorrow we can carry on reading all about Primrose and the autumn story. Thank you everyone. I hope you had a wonderful day learning all about our autumn trees and why they change color. Now it's your turn. Go out into your garden and play in the beautiful autumn leaves. Love you all. Miss you lot. Mwah. Bye.